Hello and welcome to ReginaldESQ. I'm Underhook and this is my review of all of the small machine guns, or submachine guns I should say, currently available in Tom Clancy's The Division. I have a link to the spreadsheet in the description. You can have a look at the spreadsheet with all the stats on it. I have done assault rifles and light machine guns. This is the SMGs and I'm going to do shotguns as well. Let's get into it now. One thing to note though, including gear score now since the last patch, all of them have a gear score of 147 except for my AUG only has a gear score of 131. I can't get a 147 at the moment. I did get rid of it when I got a gold one, so I have to go over that. And my burst fire MP5 is at 131 as well, but it's a crap gun so it doesn't matter. Alright, so let's have a look now at the vector. Let's check out the horizontal stability of this gun. And the horizontal stability of the vector is terrible. Now, people used to say that the accuracy, when I first started playing this, everyone said you have to get accuracy mods, because the accuracy is terrible on these guns. And I did that and didn't have much fun because they are, in fact, as you can see, very, very accurate. Well, not all of them, but the vector definitely has exceptionally good accuracy, no problem at all. It's the horizontal stability that makes it pretty much impossible to hit anything. If I go full auto here, it's really hard to keep it on target because its stability is left and right. You can't just pull one direction and stop it. What about feathering? Not much better really. So it's very good accuracy, terrible horizontal stability, pretty good vertical, not much vertical kick there. So vertical, it's not too bad, but horizontal, definitely horizontal stability mods. Forget about putting accuracy mods on it, not needed, total waste. And stability mods as far as just stability, probably a waste too, because vertical it's quite good. Feathering, it comes up fair. Holding it down full auto, it's pretty terrible. So that's probably the big disadvantage of the AUG, is the horizontal stability. That's something you do have to work on. The other disadvantage is, of course, only 20 rounds in the clip. But we'll talk about that sort of stuff a little bit more when we have a look at the spreadsheets. There's some very interesting statistics there I want to show you. Now let's go on to the T821. This is basically the stock version of the Midas that you saw, the gold gun, the named weapon. So this weapon, you'll see straight away, doesn't have a dot sight. I'll have on the spreadsheet which ones are dot and which ones are open. This is open. It makes it hard to aim at range. Let's check out the horizontal stability. Horizontal stability, probably not as bad as the others. I would rate that as fair. It does kick left to right, but it's not too bad at it. Let's now move across and check out the accuracy of this weapon. Missed with that one. The accuracy isn't great, and it is hard to aim, hard to know when that thing's at the center. So the accuracy of the T821 is awful. I've rated it as very bad. The horizontal kick I said was fair and it's left to right. Now let's check out the vertical kick while we're looking at it here. It's actually really good, or pretty good. It's just that it's got 32 rounds, so it kicks up a bit more than the Vector because it's got more rounds to do it. This does have a slow rate of fire though, only 505 compared to the 750 on the Vector. So if you did want to speed up the rate of fire, you might lose some of that vertical stability. Now let's try feathering. It's funny, because the rate of fire is so slow, it's different feathering. With feathering, actually, it's not too bad. It comes up as fair. Now let's try holding it down on full auto. Well, the accuracy is terrible, but holding it down on full auto is actually pretty easy. I think it's due mainly to the low rate of fire. Let's now move on to the AUG. As I said, my little proviso here is this AUG probably is going to be a little low on damage compared to one of a higher gear score. I just can't get one anymore. Okay, so we'll start off here. It is a dot sight. Stability of this weapon is excellent. I rated it as, what did I rate it as? I rated it as good. Compared to the others, it's probably one of the most stable. Let's check the vertical kick. The vertical kick is also not too bad, although it probably kicks a little bit harder than some of the others. Let's try feathering this gun at the head. It's a little bit harder to do than some of the others because it does kick up a little bit more. So probably horizontal stability might not really be needed much on this weapon, but general stability might help a little bit. Let's now try full auto. It's actually easier to hold down on full auto than it is on feathering. Maybe it just has an initial kick, but I'm still losing a little bit of accuracy there. So probably a little bit of vertical stability might still help this gun. All the SMGs seem to suffer from it a little bit there. Alright, it does have 25 rounds, which is 5 rounds more than the Vector, but less than the 32 rounds we just saw on the T82-1. So now let's have a look at the next gun in our selection, which is going to be the SMG9. Not a fan of this gun, but maybe you are. So let's get it up. I think it's come up as number 2. Is it in my hand? It was. Here it is. Tiny little gun. You hold it down, you can't even see it there. Looks basically like a machine pistol. Let's have a look at it. It does not have a dot sight, as you can see. I'm just trying to move over a bit more so I'm in front of what I'm shooting at. Come on. It's hard when you've got the keyboard out of the way for your microphone. And it does not have a dot, as you can see. Horizontal stability. Well, it ain't too good, really. It's bad. Left and right, it's bad. So now let's have a look at the accuracy of this weapon. Once again, hard to aim. Accuracy isn't its strongest point. It's all right actually. It's not bad. It's just the lack of a dot makes it hard. Yeah, the accuracy, it's hitting. The accuracy is good. It's just harder to aim because of the type of sight. So what about now vertical stability? Not too bad really compared to the others. It's all right. It has a much better rate of fire, this thing, of 825. Let's now have a look at feathering. Well, that's actually not too bad. Let's have a look at full auto. That's actually not too bad as well. So not bad. It does have 32 rounds. The it doesn't look. It's all right. Let's not make a verdict on it. We'll have a look at the spreadsheet. But let's go now to the MP7. I used to love the MP7. It just doesn't have. Well, it doesn't have enough rounds, and it doesn't have enough stopping power. But I kind of like it. Alright, MP7, let's check out the horizontal stability first. Does have a dot sight. And you can see there that the horizontal stability of this weapon is not too bad. Does go left and right, but it's pretty fair. I'm out of ammo. Reload, reload. Let's now check the accuracy on this weapon. It's actually hard to fire just one shot. The rate of fire on this thing is so high. Well, you'd have to say the accuracy is very good indeed. Has a 950 rate of fire. That's why it's hard to fire just one shot. So now let's look at the vertical kick then. It kicks quite a bit harder than the others. I'd say it's due to the fact that it has such a high rate of fire. So let's try it with feathering. Okay, a bit of lag there in the damage. It is quite difficult with feathering. Let's try holding it down. Yeah, look, its vertical kick is pretty hard. And I'm having trouble holding it down. So it's probably one of the worst ones in that stability. So probably general stability on this gun would be good. The horizontal stability might not be needed as much. Only has 20 rounds in a magazine, unfortunately. Let's now move on to the MP5, another one that a lot of people like. There it is. And we'll check out the horizontal stability of this weapon. As you can see, it does move left to right, but it's actually... let's have another look. No, it's moving around all over the place. Yeah, it's not good. The horizontal stability isn't good, and I have tested it previously and it was bad then as well. Alright, so let's check out the accuracy of this weapon. Yeah, once again, this is another one of the SMGs that has very good accuracy, so you don't need any accuracy mods at all in this. Let's check the vertical kick. Considering the rate of fire, that's pretty good. Alright, so then, well, when I say it's good, it's kicking. Alright, let's see now the feathering. Actually came up alright on feathering. I'll try it again. 32 rounds in this gun is a big advantage of it. Alright, let's try it on full auto. Okay, so it's got a bit of a kick. When it's on full auto, it's hard to keep it down, and I'd say that's probably just due to the rate of fire. Yeah, so it could do with some just general stability mods. But as with most of the others, the accuracy mods aren't needed. Let's now have a look at the burst fire MP5, which is, well, it's awful. I have to say, it's rubbish! Alright, so we'll check out, like the assault rifles, the burst fire just isn't suitable in this game. So the horizontal stability is actually fair. It does kick out a little bit to the right, as you'll see during the accuracy tests. Let's check out vertical stability first of all. It's actually not very good. In fact, that's pretty bad. Let's check out the accuracy. Well, gee, I thought all three of those might have actually hit the head. So with the assault rifles, it's almost impossible to get all three shots on the head. But with this, it actually seems like it might be possible sometimes. So the accuracy is, of course, the initial accuracy is very good, and overall the accuracy is not too bad. We're getting quite a few times there we're actually getting 3 shots hit. That's not bad at all. If we aim a bit lower, yeah, it would be possible. I don't know why I'm getting a body shot in there sometimes. I don't know if the shot's kicking down or whatever. Let's try feathering at this at the head now. Okay, and there is no full auto. All I can do is just press the mouse button as fast as I can and see how we go. Look, it's tough to manage. It is a burst fire weapon after all. Alright, well now let's have a quick look at the spreadsheet, and you've got the link there if you want to look at it in your own time anyway. Just quickly, for those of you who haven't seen any of my weapon reviews yet, you'll notice that all of my gear is the starting gear, so that all of my stats are 535. Nothing's higher than 530 arms, firearms, stamina and electronics, which means that on the weapons here, none of the abilities are activated. Yeah, none of them are activated. So that way we're able to have no skills influencing the damage of the guns. And that's also why I don't use gold weapons, because with gold weapons they always have a skill that is always active, and that will throw out the stats. So that's why I use purple, plus not all the weapons are available in gold. Okay, so here is the spreadsheet, and I've included a couple of extra things for the SMGs. I've included crit damage because they all have a crit chance inherent in the weapon. The crit chance that's inherent in the weapon will of course change from weapon to weapon, so don't really pay much attention to that. But it just gives you a bit of an idea. My gold AUG has a 25.5% hit chance, a crit chance, which is pretty good. It just varies from gun to gun. So best in class in green, worst in class in red. I do have a link to the spreadsheet if you want to go and have a look at it. Now you've got here obviously the Vector doing the most damage at every range in standard shots and in crits. But the story's not quite that simple when you look at the other guns, or any gun really. All of them I've got listed here in gun range as close range, but it does vary a little bit. You can see here that the MP5 has the lowest damage to the body at close range. In fact, it has the lowest damage at all close ranges, no matter what kind of damage it's doing, the MP5. But the MP5 doesn't lose as much damage over range, and you can see it medium and long ranges. The SMG9 does the lowest damage, and this happens with all of these guns. They lose damage over range. So I've included this statistic here: percentage damage retained close to long range. So what that means is, you can see here for the Vector it's 63%. That means that the Vector at long range does 63% of the damage it does at close range. And you can see with the AUG and the T821, it's 57%. The worst in class is the SMG, which at long range only does 45% of the damage it does at close range, even though at closer ranges it does okay. It really drops off and is pretty much useless at longer ranges, even though in other ways the gun's quite good. And that's the main reason why I would never use this gun. Same thing with the MP7. It only does 46% of its original damage at close range when it's shooting at long range. Not that you want to shoot at long range all the time, but it loses that damage at mid range as well. And with the MP5, it retains 67% of its damage at long range that it had, which is the best, and the burst is the same, 67%. So when considering the gun that's right for you, you may want to consider also what ranges you're going to be using the gun at, and do you ever need to shoot medium to long range with the gun. The magazine capacity, of course, is pretty important. Only being 20 on the Vector and the MP7 is a bit of a challenge. And you've got the other things there. So you can use this to help you modify your weapons by deciding what kind of mods you need on your guns. That's really the main reason for doing it. Good luck with it all, and I hope you enjoy the Division. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more, please subscribe to ReginaldESQ. Have fun.